Um, Pistons made several runs, and each time that every time you guys kind of got up by 10, they were able to kind of chip away and get back in it, but you guys responded every time. I'm curious, what does that say about your team? What does it say about the development of your team that every time they kind of got tested, they were able to find an answer?
Well, it's a good sign. Obviously, you want to try and limit, your exposure to situations like that. We've seen runs get out of hand into the half. They made a push, and we were able to trade baskets there. But I thought second half we were much better as far as anchoring ourselves in our defense. Got stops. We were able to get out and run a bit, and had the big third quarter. But those runs are going to happen. So I think it's every time that happens, our ability to kind of bounce back is always good to see. But sometimes it's just lucky offense. You have to kind of really look at it and say, hey, are we doing the right things, or are we just getting bailed out? At times that's okay. It's better than the alternative, but we want to make sure we're clear with our process and our execution. And I thought toward the end we were really good.
And speaking of that third quarter, it looked like Kuzma came out of halftime much more aggressive. Was that conscious, or did it just kind of flow that way for him?
Well, yeah, he got going, and we stayed with him. I think he wound up playing the whole quarter. But you ride a guy, he gets going, starts making plays for himself or for others, and you can give him the opportunity to stay out there. I thought he was solid on that end. Defensively, with the switching was solid. They hurt us a little bit on the offensive glass, but overall, I thought it was well balanced.
Career high 15 rebounds for Deni, 3 straight games in double figures. What have you seen from him lately, and how he's responded to the opportunities presented to the young players right now?
Oh, he's taking full advantage of it. It's not mistake free, and no one expects it to be. But I love his effort. I think he's trying to understand. Trying to do the right thing. But his overall effort is that gives him a chance. I think that's important. Defensively, he's been active. He's trying to maintain the matchup and understand the tendencies and personnel situations. He's doing a better job of recognizing who he's guarding, how do we want to handle those situations, and then the rebounding component. Kuz has shown his ability to do it. I think it's now Deni's turn, but those guys, him, Kuz, and Rui. We talked about those 3 wings, their size and versatility they bring. It's just another dynamic, another dimension for us.
Speaking of Rui, how is he feeling?
He took a bit of a spill, a sprained ankle, but they're going to take a look at it. And before I comment, I want to make sure the medical staff has a chance to look at it, and see how he responds.
Did he feel like he could lock it up?
I think he tried, and I think at half it got a little stiff on him. But I'm hoping it's not, anything severe. He was still walking and moving, but it was a pretty good sprain.
How is Deni an effective rebounder? Is it just his height? Is it his anticipation?
Well, a lot of it is also his positioning. There's a degree of want and will. I think you see that quite often. A guy like Stewart, that's just kind of his mindset, that every shot's a miss and I'm going to go chase it. I think for Deni and some of these other wings, it's not just the brute force and strength, but, reading the fly of the ball. You kind of understand how to play angles and where the ball is going to come off. And then you have to, there's a degree of anticipation, activity. So all those things, I think, play into it.
What is standing out to you about the 1-2 punch you have at point guard right now, and what both those guys bring, and maybe the change of pace that Ish brings off the bench?
Yeah, I think that change of pace is good. And I've challenged him to make sure we're pushing with purpose. And I think at times it gets a little hectic, but as long as the ball is moving, we stay disciplined with our spacing. Usually good things happen. I think Raul, he's been with us, so he has a better sense of our offensive system. Ish doesn't really have a grasp of a lot of things that we're running, so that's not his fault. So allowing him to play free is to his benefit. Howell, I think, does a better job of keeping us organized, running sets. But both of them, it's a different dynamic of push pace, organization. But both of them guard, so it's a good thing to have.
Any questions for Coach on Zoom? Felix?
Hello, Coach. Congratulations on the victory for tonight. And of course, with this game, I just had a question. What do you think, for the most part, was the difference between today and the games that happened in the recent past? Of course, this team was on a slump not too long ago. And what do you think are the adjustments that the team made, if any?
Well, I mean, the trade aside, I mean, I think that's a huge adjustment. But if you just factor in the other night, this group played together. Offensively, the first half, I thought we were, great. Ball was moving, 18 assists. Second half, we only had 8. So we stopped moving the ball, stopped sharing it. And that's why offensively we started to struggle. Also, the other night, I thought because we were scoring, we allowed the defense to take a back seat. As opposed to tonight, obviously fourth quarter, had a big third quarter, but we struggled, offensively, but we anchored ourselves in the defense. So we didn't let go of the rope on that side of the ball. And I think that's the most important thing, the biggest takeaway. Regardless, make or miss, we have to, stay locked in and defend.
Thank you for your time, Coach. Once again, congratulations on the victory tonight.
Thank you.
Ron?
Coach, you mentioned Deni's 15 rebounds. Is that just a mindset thing?
To an extent, I think, once again, a lot of things go into that. He's got great size, anticipation. And I think, it does take a little bit of effort, but that's another dynamic of our defense. I've said it before, you can play great defense, but if we don't finish the possession, it doesn't count. So, we wrap that into, a whole possession. It's got to be a 5-man mentality.
Thank you.
All right, Coach. I think that's it. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
First of all, Kuz, obviously third quarter made a big difference for you guys, and that was a quarter in which you scored 17 points. What was working for you in that quarter?
I just made my adjustments. Just seeing what the defense was trying to do with me throughout the first half. And, a lot of times they were just, plugging in gaps, didn't really have space to do things, switching. And then, just took my time and just made my adjustments and came out aggressive, and the floor opened up for me.
What do you think? What has kind of stood out to you about this group these last few games? Obviously, changes made to the rotation and young guys playing more. Just kind of what has stood out to you in the bigger picture?
Everyone is just accepting positive criticism well, and anytime you can do that, that means that you can hold people accountable, and that's for everybody. That's just not me. If I'm messing up, Deni, anybody, they can say something to me, and I'm gonna hear them and understand it, and we're gonna change things. So I think that's the number one thing. Obviously that, but just the commitment to playing the right way, and that's super, super important. And for most of the season, we haven't necessarily done that for multiple games, and I think over these past 3 games, it's been really refreshing to play this way. So.
How you know what it takes to rebound at a high level? How is Deni rebounding at a high level right now?
Only because I was playing a 5 and I had a box out Stewart all night. So that's the only reason why I got 15, but I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it. Good job, Deni.
I think that they track box out. So
Yeah, track him. Yeah.
Kyle, you said it was, you came out at halftime and just kind of adjusted a little bit, but do you also consciously think, okay, we need a little bit more juice from me on offense and look to be more aggressive, or is it literally just how the defense is playing?
I think it's always, it's a little bit of both, but at the same time, it's always about, taking what the defense gives you so you're not forcing action. And, that's what I did, just keeping it simple, attacking when I had it. If I didn't have a shot, getting off of it. But, I knew that they would switch 1 through 5. And, every time that happened, I would just bring it out, wait a second, attack to 5, and just figure it out on the move. And, just try to attack or really just counter what their game plan was. So, yeah.
And what's it say about you guys that every time tonight that they kind of made a push, had a little bit run to get back into it, that you guys were able to kind of immediately answer? What's it say about you guys as a group?
I mean, it was big time because if you look at us, the last game with Sac, we had a lead. I think we're up maybe 52-37 at one point. And then, it's always like the last couple minutes of the first half where we struggle and let loose. End of quarters, we let loose. And tonight, they punched us and we took the punch, withstood it, and kept attacking and we held them under 95 points. And anytime you can do that, you got a great chance to win the ball game.
This is, I guess, the second time you've played against Cade Cunningham. I'm interested, just what are your impressions of him so far?
Well, he's getting better. He's a nice young prospect in this league. He's got a bright future. Potentially to start in this league with, how big of a green light he has in Detroit, and he's taking advantage of it. He's a very, very cerebral, smart player to be at a young age. His ability to, you've seen it tonight. A lot of times, we wanted to switch 1 through 5. He took his time and played like he was 6'8", and whether that got getting to the paint or just making a simple play. And I think he's a winner. He makes all the little plays too. So
you mentioned the rotation already, but the starting 5 that you guys have run the last couple of games, I mean, where do you think you guys are chemistry wise, considering all the changes that you've had to go through over the last, couple of weeks?
Oh, I think we're great. I think we're great chemistry wise. I think, we got a pretty good understanding of, roles right now on the team. Everybody's gelling, fitting in. Everybody's just doing what they're supposed to do, whether that's Pope knocking down shots. Corey's been getting better and better every single game this year. Howell was doing a great job getting downhill, getting in the paint, scoring a couple buckets, and, so on and so forth off the bench. And, I think we're in a great spot right now. If we can continue to close out, this first half of the season before the break and, just hit the ground running when it continues. So.
You mentioned Corey kind of getting better and better as he's kind of played more and he's obviously going to have a chance to play some pretty significant minutes down the stretch. But where have you seen him get better from, when he came into this point of the season?
Well, it's not that he's doing anything extra. I think he's just doing a great job of playing within himself. I love that he's more and more aggressive, just hunting shots. And not tell him all the time, like, yo, if you're not taking 10 threes, what are you out there for? So he understands that, he has that green light to shoot and he's firing with confidence. And I believe in him. I feel like every shot he takes is a great shot and it looks like it's going in. So, the sky's the limit for him.
You mentioned earlier about accepting criticism, positive criticism. How good is Deni at accepting criticism?
He's really good. He's a smart mouth sometimes, but at the same time, he understands it's all love. It's coming from a good place. And, everyone here, we want everyone to succeed, whatever that may be, to any certain extent. But, he wants to be good. And, to be good, you have to be one to accept criticism and also be challenged. And, he's just doing a great job of it. So.
Last question on you.
Hey, Kuz, not necessarily specific to this game, but generally Coach was talking about, he wants to see more confidence out of Deni. Is that something that you can help get out of a teammate? And if so, what are some of the things you try and do?
I mean, you can always cheer on a teammate or tell a teammate to be aggressive, but at the end of the day, you got to be confident in yourself, because if you're not confident in yourself, then no one is going to be confident in you. So, that comes from within. That comes from, working every single day, which he does. And he loves the gym. He's always in the gym before practice, after practice, and he comes back at night. So, you work that hard, you should be confident. So, cool.
Thanks, Kuz. Another good output today.
Thanks, boss.
Appreciate you.
Yep.
Thanks, Coop.
Obviously, the dynamic change in the rotation at the trade deadline, and in these last 3 games, you've reached double figures in each of them. What have you liked about the way you've played since kind of the rotation was shaken up?
I feel like having the confidence to be more aggressive, create more for others, have the ball a little more. Just in general, like how the ball moves in offense is great. Feels great. We sharing the ball. It looks great and generates a lot of shots for others. And I'm part of the players that love to play make and get guys shots. So can't complain.
Kuz has talked about the growth of all the young players and kind of like learning how to win at the NBA level.
Mhm.
What have you learned since you've been in the NBA about like what is required to win at this level?
I've learned that winning is not easy. You're facing a different opponent almost every game, and every team got their talent. Every team can win in this league, and you just need to be focused and win as a team. Keep your hand in the game, and just play together, because none of us can do it alone. And I feel like if we're gonna have good chemistry, we're gonna keep sharing the ball, keep being good on offense and defense. I think we have a bright future.
What has made you as effective rebounding the ball lately?
Just being more aggressive in general, like know where the ball, what spots the ball will hit, and like things that you learn as like I think more mature. I feel more strong too. I've been working a lot on my body, and in general, I'm just being in the paint and helping my teammates getting those boards.
They talked about or mentioned Kyle, and
Mhm.
I'm curious what kind of influence he had on you just as an older player. And being effective?
Kyle's great. He's generally great all around, off the court. How he talked with me on the court, he gives me a lot of confidence. We're working on our game together a lot, and we give each other a lot of notes, a lot of things. Like we listen to each other, and that's the most important. We communicate, and we have a great friendship. Hopefully, we can win a lot together and grow together and bring this team to great things.
Deni, has this last week felt like a reset of sorts where, kind of throw out that last rough stretch from before the trade deadline and kind of be able to kind of refocus with a new group and, well, not completely new group, but you know what I mean, kind of with a new kind of, I guess, I don't know if it's new focus, but the way you guys kind of go at it with new folks.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like we're more engaged. This change also changed a little bit our roles. Everybody needs to do a little bit more. We were short on rotation. KP still needs to come back, and we're excited, man. Like we just keep our heads in the game, do what we need to. Everybody knows their role. We just keep sharing the ball, as I said, and I think we can do great things. I think the change. We needed a change, and it's a progress. It's going to take some time, and I believe in this team.
Specifically, what kind of advice from Kuz has been most helpful to you?
Just like being aggressive. He always tells me to be more aggressive. Like you always tell me, hey, you're 6'9", you're 230. Like you need to start using your body more. And I learned how to do it in the NBA level more and more. It wasn't easy for me, especially because of the injury. But Kuz makes sure that when we work on our game, like being physical, create the contact, and he has great advices.
Neil.
Hey, Deni, I'm curious, did you have any, maybe not, but any prior relationship with Kristaps Porzingis, or how has it been like, getting to know him the last couple of days?
KP is great. I think the first thing he told me when I got into the locker room is he's going to beat me in FIFA. And I know we started a good relationship. So excited to be with him on the court. Great guy, great teammate, looks like. And in general, I'm excited. Yep.
And kind of generally, Coach talked about he wants you to take shots with confidence. You're generating the right types of shots. He wants you to just, go out there and shoot it with confidence. How would you assess your current confidence level right now?
I think it's on a rise. I didn't shoot consistently throughout the season, I feel like, but I feel as I'm getting the reps and staying after practices and coming in late and getting the shots, it helps me. It helps me be focused and believe in my shot. And I feel like as I mature and be a complete player, the shots will fall better and I'll be more confident. And I feel like it's gonna be a good thing in the future.
Thanks, Deni. I like the shirt.
Thank you.
Deni's never beaten me in FIFA. All right, we'll go to Iran.
Crazy, man.
מה העניינים, דני?
מה הולך, ירון?
בסדר גמור. היה דיון על הריבאונדים שלך, שיא קריירה. קודם כל בוא תן את הפרספקטיבה שלך.
כיף לראות שיא קריירה. תמיד מנסים לשבור אותו. אתה יודע, אני עדיין מחכה גם לנתונים האחרים, אבל לאט לאט אני סבלני. אני חושב שהאגרסיביות שלי, החדות שבאתי איתה למשחק, זה משהו שאני צריך לאמץ ולהתחיל לעשות יותר. ואני מאמין שזה גם יגיע עם הבגרות שלי ועם איך שאני באמת מסתגל להתכונן למשחקים. מקווה שהשמיים הם הגבול, אני אמשיך לעבוד קשה, אתה יודע, להישאר על הקרקע צנוע יש עוד עונה שלמה. חצי עונה, סורי.
אז המאמן אמר משהו דומה על היכולת שלך בריבאונד היום, הציפייה, הגודל שלך, מיינדסט, ואז קוזמה בא ואמר, עזבו הכל, עשיתי בוקס-אוט לאיזיה סטיוארט, בגלל זה הוא לקח את הריבאונד.
יכול להיות, קוזמה אמרתי לו היום שהשגתי 15 ריבאונד בגלל שהוא לא הלך ואתה יודע, חטף הכל, אז הודיתי לו קצת, שהוא השאיר לי קצת ריבאונדים לקחת, אבל סתם התבדחנו על זה קצת, אבל לא אם הוא לקח ככה את הקרדיט, מה אני אגיד לך?
הייתה לך מסירה אחת מצד אחד לצד שני לראול נטו, שהגיע דווקא אחרי החטאה. זה משהו שאתה מתחיל לראות יותר פשוט במגרש, ככל שאתה משחק יותר והכדור אצלך יותר?
ככל שאני משחק יותר וככל שבאמת יש לי את הביטחון, אני מרגיש שהמשחק מעט, ויש לי את האפשרות לקרוא הרבה מהלכים ולראות באמת את כל המגרש הרבה יותר טוב. זה משהו שאני עובד עליו, אבל זה גם משהו שיגיע עם הזמן, אני מאמין שאני רק משתפר בזה, ואני אוהב לייצר לאחרים. אני אוהב, זה חלק מהמשחק שלי, גדלתי ועשיתי את זה, ואני אנסה להביא את זה גם לרמה הזאת. אני סבלני, וזהו.
אמרת קודם באנגלית, אני רוצה שתגיד את זה בעברית גם, על מה שהיה לך בינתיים עם פרוזינגיס, דבר ראשון שהוא אמר לך?
דבר ראשון שפרוזינגיס אמר לי שהגעתי לחדר הלבשה, שמעתי שאתה משחק הרבה פיפה, אני יודע שאני לא פרייר, והוא אמר בעצם שהוא בא לנצח אותי, הוא אומר לי שהוא לא שיחק 3 שנים, ואז הבנתי שיש פה בעצם רק דיבורים. בוא נראה. אני מחכה למשחק, ואל תדאג, המשחק הזה, במידה ואני אנצח, יעלה לרשתות החברתיות.
מעולה, מעולה. הווייב הכללי בקבוצה, עכשיו אחרי כל השינויים, נראה שכולם רגועים יותר, בטוחים במקום שלהם.
כן, בטוחים, מניעים את הכדור, משחקים ביחד, באימונים, אחלה אווירה, נהנים, ומקווה שזה ימשיך ככה.
תודה רבה, דני.
תודה רבה, ירון. לילה טוב.
Thanks, Matt. We're good.